Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Brooks here. Thank you for watching Beers with Brooks, presented by our friends at One of Indy. I am going a million miles an hour today, and we're already ready to go, so I'm going to get right after it. Welcome, Miss Hannah Ellis. Hello.
Hi, how are
I
you?
am fantastic. How are you?
So good.
I love this little home bar set up behind
Oh
you.
my gosh, that is my fiance's. He is a bourbon connoisseur fanatic, and this is the display in the middle of our living room, if you can
That,
imagine.
that's amazing. That's I'm impressed. What does he have, a favorite in that collection?
Oh my gosh. Well, I will say, claim to fame, this one is mine. Jack Daniel sent me this single barrel, so it was a really big moment in our house where it was me getting sent brown liquor versus him. But
Right.
favorite of this collection would probably be the blends. If I had to guess. Pretty fancy stuff back here.
You even have the barrel too. I love that.
Oh yeah, the barrel. Yeah, that one's it won some awards out in San Francisco, I think. I'm from Kentucky, so it's like part of the job description to be a citizen of the state of Kentucky. You must know about all things bourbon.
I love it. Where in Kentucky?
Small town called Campbellsville. It's like 2 hours northeast of Nashville.
Okay, so not too far of a drive from Indy then.
No, it's not. No, I went there a few times in high school. I went for the FFA National Convention one year, which was, well, maybe 2 years, I guess I went. But
I love it. It's I don't know. It's funny because I literally just started in January. Almost kind of, I feel like we're almost in a similar boat with signing your deal and stuff like that, where it's like you sign and then boom, here we are.
you're
But
like screaming there.
right. I love it. But no, and that's actually like the this is, I feel like, becoming such an overused question, but at the same time I feel like it's a more unique perspective for you because I mean you haven't even gone on radio tour yet. It wasn't like where you were going and then everything shut down or anything like that. So what has this journey been like for you?
Just with radio.
Yeah, and just I mean pretty much because you're
Okay.
still getting ready.
Right. Well, it's just been funny because I feel like that maybe I wasn't as initially devastated because all I saw it as was like putting a pin in it because we hadn't started yet and we were still in the process of really deciding. I mean, we had a feeling on the single, but we hadn't totally picked it yet. And this really just gave us time that normally you'd sign your deal and you'd like get on the road and go, which obviously is what you want to do. But in this scenario, we were like, okay, pause. We're going to focus on getting the songs together for an EP and getting all the music together to release to back up a single once we kind of put one out to radio. So it was a lot of that like behind the scenes work that we got to do and just getting to know the team because so many times I feel like you sign a record deal and then you go out on the road and then you come home and you're cheersing with people that you're like, what is your name? And this has been so great because, we got to do some Zoom drink meetings with my radio team that normally I may not have even met yet because they live in different states. And so we've definitely made the most of the situation that we were handed.
And these things like this are being a little bit more staggered too. I mean, you can at least remember that too, because I feel like when you're on radio tours, you're going to multiple stations in one night or one day, and the early wake up call is a whole deal. And it's like, all right, who are you?
Yeah. Versus it's like you get to like really get to know people in this capacity because it's like you said, a little more staggered out.
I always think of like country radio seminars. Always one of those things where a lot of people I met for the first time there just because just being still a little bit new to the format and whatnot. But so yeah, again, same thing where it's just you literally have people going a million miles an hour and I can only imagine what that's like. I mean, I get overwhelmed by fellow radio people. I can only imagine what it would be like in your shoes. So
I went out this year because I guess I had technically signed my deal, but hadn't like signed it yet. Whenever I was at CRS, but exactly what you're saying. I probably met 25 people in like an hour and a half, and I'm like, trying to like, okay, this is
no chance.
Okay, got it. Okay. And they do this and they've been there for, okay. And then the next day I'm like trying to like remember everybody, you know?
Do you do the what's the trick where they say like if you say somebody's name as you meet them, it helps recognize?
Yeah, like, if you say like something that associates with them,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like so and so from this, or so and so that likes the Dodgers, or whatever. Like the like word association is supposed to help, but whenever I go out on radio tour for real, if it works.
the amount of classes I've taken where that's been something, a practice, whether it's just any class or like even like Dale Carnegie training I've done. And by the end of it, it might last a good week, and then, you know, you just go from there. But
so true. You're like, I'm doing my best, okay?
I love it. We have John in the house. We have Erica here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching Beers with Brooks. So without further ado, you mentioned CRS.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, like when I was there, I remember, and that's funny because you hadn't signed yet, but I remember the big old curb screen had the music video on, and I was like, oh, did he sign there? And I'm like, so that's amazing. I mean, I'm sure even just that experience, getting to just see your music video in such a big display.
I had a lot of my artist friends, because like a lot of my friends knew, but it wasn't like we hadn't like announced it publicly. So I love that Kurt put that in there. But I had a lot of my artist friends throughout the week screenshotting it and being like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, which was really sweet, really fun.
That's awesome. Erica this is the go-to question. We have every time. As far as your rider goes on tour, what do you got to have?
Oh, okay. I've got my guitar players here with me, so he will be able to vouch for all of these things. Altos Tequila is always on the list. Miller Lite.
Wonderful. That's back-to-back weeks. Back-to-back, we've had Miller Lights with the guests.
It's the best. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's the best. Like my favorite, sidebar for this. One of my favorite ones ever was when I think it was Coors and like Bud Light were like going back and forth, and they were like hating on Miller Lite because Miller Lite has some other product that maybe gives it like
the corn syrup or something.
Yeah, and Miller Lite like tweets after the Super Bowl and was like, "Hey, Bud Light, thanks for including us in our first Super Bowl ad in like 20 years. We appreciate it." Because like they don't even like need to advertise because they're hashtag the best. But those are the two alcohols that I usually like. And then veggie tray with hummus, fruit tray preferably. And then I think that's pretty much it. Like I'm a pretty healthy backstager. Like I know I'm going to eat pizza somewhere along the way. So I think I'd get the snack game to be like safer. That's
so true. It'll fall into your lap regardless. So you might as well like don't ask for it because it'll come to you. And if it does, then it's meant to be.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, since you alluded to your guitar player and we already talked about your single, do you want to get right after it?
Yeah. We can play. Let's do Home and Hometown first. Yeah, sorry, my cat is also trying to be the star of the show.
I love it when we have extra guests like that. And then don't worry, I'll put it on a solo layout too. So we'll both be in the shot for this. Nobody needs to see my face during the performance.
Hey, we can just watch you watch us. That's a good time too.
Right.
Okay, let's hit it. Up in life, waking up too early at my mom's house. 'Cause every wall's paper thin and my family talks too loud. But I do the same, 'cause it's how we raised. But I feel just as right across state lines in my downtown apartment. I can barely afford the concrete floors and the limited parking. But I can't see myself anywhere else. 'Cause I got a highway and I got a back road. I got a fast-paced life and a place I go to move. So when I wanna make it, when I wanna make proud, no matter which one I'm leaving, I still wanna turn around. 'Cause I got a home and I got a I've always known. Get back to Monday night, half-price wine at Barcelona. It's always me and him, and our best friends don't order because they know us. 200 miles apart, don't feel that far. 'Cause I got a highway, and I got a back road. I got a fast-paced life and a place I go to move. So when I want to make it, when I want to make it proud, no matter which one I'm made, I still want to turn around. 'Cause I got a home, and I got a hometown. Don't feel that far. 'Cause I got a highway and I got a back road. I got a fast-paced life and a place I go to move. So when I wanna make it, when I wanna make proud, no matter which one I'm leaving, I still wanna turn around. 'Cause I got a home and I got a hometown. Oh yeah, I got a home, and I got a hometown.
There we go. I love it. So, bear with me. Literally, like, I've been going a million miles an hour today, so I just jumped out of the shower right before this. So, so it's so funny. Like, I was impressed by how prepared you guys were. So, so it's funny when. So I remember that song because I remember when it came out, and and it was right around the time when so when I was still in La Crosse, Wisconsin, the it was you were booked for a music festival there, Country Thunder or Country Boom. Yeah, there we go. Country Boom, and I ended up moving like right before that, but it looked like an amazing time because it
was so much fun.
Yeah, what was that experience like? Because I mean, that was probably a big festival.
It was. Well, it was really cool because I got to play Country Boom and then Windy City back to back. Yeah. And so it was just so incredible because Country Boom's like way out in the country. Like they are not kidding when they say country. No. Which I loved. And they said that the year before it was like super rainy.
Mm-hmm. I was at that one. I was working that.
I heard it was wild. But it was so much fun. The weather was so nice, and the energy was so high. And I think that might have been, if it wasn't the first time I played Wisconsin, it was one of them. And so it was so incredible to be that far from home and know the words to songs. Like that was just like, it was like quite a moment, you know. And then the same thing turned around and happened at Windy City. And Windy City, it was like loud, like, you know, there's so many people, and then you could hear them singing. And for me, as still a new artist, man, it was crazy. It was just really, really awesome.
Especially in Wisconsin, the country music festivals are no joke.
Oh, I mean, for sure.
That was the second year of it, and the first year so I was still there, and yeah, it was. Like we all kind of suspected it. We were like, not that it was, you know, unprepared by any means, but we just knew with the chances of it and everything, you know, this is why we can't have nice things type of thing. And of course it just starts pouring. And I remember, I think one of the headliners that weekend was Randy Houser.
I love that.
And he
headliner for that type of weekend.
Right, and he there was some sort of travel issue, so it was literally like plane here, drive here, like I mean, made it maybe half an hour before the show or his performance started.
Yeah.
And remember, like it's just still pouring and it's muddy as can be. Everyone is covered in mud in some sense. People are wrestling in the mud.
That's what I heard. That's what they were literally telling us. They were like, it was a wild time.
And thankfully, like at least for a station, because most people had golf carts, no chance. Yeah. We had side-by-sides, thankfully, because otherwise, no way. and he's like, they roll in this it was like a stretch escalator or something, and trying to get through that, and there's one path, and
Right.
and everyone's having a good time too, so they're like, what's going on here? It was you couldn't make it up.
No, I'm
It was
sure that was epic to say.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's one of those classic, where it's such a long and exhausting weekend, but you
Right.
look back and it's so fun. So I remember seeing on social media just how much fun it looked like you guys were having.
Oh, it was. We literally did have such a blast, and I like can't wait to get back up there and play. Well, to get anywhere and play, but
Right.
it was. I mean, we had so much fun at that festival, and then to roll that into the I guess it was a day or maybe 2 days later in Chicago, and to do those back to back, it was like euphoria for touring musician for sure.
Now, I know typically, since you are kind of going back to back days and stuff like that and touring, did you get any chance to be touristy since you haven't really, you're still exploring a little bit.
Big thing for me, like especially in this season. So I actually do this thing called a taste of tour because I'm a big foodie, and I like film where I go to eat on tour, like, which is probably, I have to say, it's got to be relatively fun for my guitar player Kevin, because I like explicitly plan the food we're gonna eat before we go anywhere.
And she's got great taste too.
Yeah.
So it's anywhere we go is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah. So that's actually, so you're exactly right. Being touristy in these towns is really important to me. So we went in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I gotta know where you guys went.
Downtown market. What is it called? There's a big market in downtown Milwaukee.
Oh, in Milwaukee, okay.
And it's like a farmer's market, but it's like,
I know what you're talking about.
Everything there is legit. So we bought so much like meat and cheese to take home, obviously, and we bought some spotted cow.
I was just about to ask about spotted.
Yeah, I mean, come on, we're on a beer show here. We have to talk about that beer. It is so amazing and delicious. But yeah, we ended up there was like a seafood restaurant there that was we got like lobster rolls that so amazing, like at this market, because you could eat anything. So the band, we all just like went in and like dispersed, and we're like, okay, we're gonna figure out what has the best food in here. But you couldn't go wrong with that.
You're like a kid in the candy store.
Yeah.
Had to explore everywhere.
So cool. It was really cool. And a lot of people had said, you've got to go there. That's like the place to see. And they were not wrong.
So you mentioned you've been in Indy before. Have you done anything like that in Indy?
I don't think I've played a show like in Indy in the last, like in a like soon enough time where I was like a grown person out exploring.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that I have gotten to play a show there in that capacity, because none of the tours I was on went through there either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to change that once 2021 rolls around.
That's right. 2021 is gonna be lit with so many shows.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I always think about once we get there. I mean,
it's gonna be.
And yeah, like Erica said, we need to change that. There's some good there's some good places here in Indy, so we'll definitely add that to the list too, and get some research going for you.
When I did go there, I did go eat at John's Steakhouse, John Shula.
Oh, okay.
Top of
So, and I might need some help here too on the comments, because I'm obviously still a little bit new, but I know
right.
I know St. Elmo's is big, and their shrimp cocktail is supposed to be ridiculous.
I went with my dad, and Dad's like a steakhouse guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yep. John says St. Elmo's here, so right on. And then Ricky wants to know, what is your most embarrassing moment on stage?
Most embarrassing moment on stage. I feel like I'm relatively hard to embarrass, even though it's myself that would be embarrassed.
You embrace it.
Yeah, like I feel like that's probably right. Oh, that was pretty funny. Yeah. So but I don't even know if anybody else. I mean, I definitely knew it. So when I was on tour with Cassidy Pope and Claire Dunn for the CMT Next Women tour.
Yes, that's right.
On the last night of the last show, I was performing, right? And it was the last song I was doing, Home and Hometown. Well, you know, you just heard it. Like, it's got a lot of guitar stuff going on. And the way that we sing the melody is a little bit syncopated. So it's, like, really important for me to be able to, like, keep beat. And so when I'm on stage, my guitar player will literally, like, tap his foot, like, really consistently. Like, that helps me, like, that way nobody gets crazy and wild. Well, we're in the middle of this song, and all of a sudden I start hearing boom, 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 boom. Like, he's tapping his foot, but there's something else happening, and I'm like, and I kind of get like thrown off, and I'm like kind of looking, I'm like, what's happening? Like, and then we just and then finally it just stops, and we keep going. And then after the show, I see a video on my Instagram, and Cassidy figured out that the green room was directly below where we room, and was like slamming it into the ceiling. And so I was like so thrown off, like, what is happening? But it was very funny. I don't even know if it could be that embarrassing because it was actually hysterical. But it like messed me up, like in the song. Like I was like, I don't know where, like it like got me all confused. It was funny.
I feel like whenever I see on Cassidy's like Instagram story, she's always messing around or something like that when other people are performing.
She loves to be a little bit of a prankster.
What was it like touring with her and Claire?
Oh my gosh, so much fun. And it's so fun because the three of us have such different musical, I would say lanes even, that what we all do is so different. So it was so fun every night to watch their shows because it's so different than what I do. And we just had a blast. And you would think that three girls, full band, on a bus with manager and all this, that it would be like overwhelming, but it really wasn't. Like, everyone was really good at like giving space, but also like being down to hang and like really supportive. And the fans in the cities we went to were just so amazing. It was my first time going to Boston and places like that. And so it was really cool to just get to have that experience with those girls. And Cassidy and I were friends already. And so that just kind of like made it even more, of a good time.
You guys went all over too for that, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We went a lot of places. We went to Orlando. We went to both the Carolinas. We went to Washington, D.C. and Boston. Trying to think. Because I did go on tour with Gavin as well, so sometimes the cities run together. I'm like, which one did I do where? Play Kentucky, which is always fun for me. So we played in Lexington on the CMT tour, and that was really special, because I got to have a lot of friends and family come out to that show.
Wow, Gavin, he's a character too.
Oh my gosh, he is. I'm telling you though, that dude can sing. The first day of tour, we walk in and we're trying to get settled, and I thought his band was practicing to like tracks, and it was him singing. But that is how good of a singer he is, and it's every night. Like, that tour was 1 month, and we only were not performing for like 4 or 5 days of the month. Like, it was crazy. I was like, the fact that he can sing like that every single night and for that long, like, unbelievable. And
I feel like for a lot more often than not, you can kind of tell if somebody is just a great singer just by seeing them and stuff like that. But just with Gavin's personality and stuff like that, he's I've met him once and I was like, wait, Gavin? Like, yeah, I was just
that is so him. He's the sweetest person.
Right. So I love it. Really Ricky asked also if you could sing with anyone, who would it be?
Oh my gosh, there's a laundry list.
Mm-hmm.
I always say this is kind of random, but there's a pop artist named Alicia Cara.
Yeah.
Super incredibly talented. I always say if I was going to do a CMT Crossroads, I think that would be
yours.
Yeah, because I think she's so talented, and I respect her songwriting and her artistry and her voice. And I'm like, that'd just be so much fun. I just love her. I know that's kind of random, but I'm just a fan.
Random's good though. That's a more unique answer than, I don't know, just somebody.
When she's not playing, because obviously everyone wants to sing with her. So.
Right. So before we go, are you cool with one more?
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Cool with you. We'll do a new one that's going to be on the EP that's coming out whenever it comes out.
I was about to say, do you have a timeline?
No, it'll be top of next year sometime.
Awesome.
So we're working on it. We're getting all the songs done, and I'm really, really excited about how they're turning out, and I think that people are gonna like it. So I'm excited. Oh, hi RJ. RJ says yes.
Oh, there we go.
This is one
What's
of
up, RJ?
I love it. Okay. Don't know what the cost is. Dreams don't come for free. This one bedroom apartment is too small for you and me. Baby, we got everything we need. Just right under 700 square feet. Ain't quite where we thought we'd be by now. But we got plans of a house in a city on a shoreline. And we got plans. Spend too much money on the cheap one. From the church to the dress to the little bare feet. We ain't there yet, but we're gonna be. Living in the moment, loving where we're going long as I know that we got plans. Oh, we got plans. Oh. Turns out they're always changing, and baby, that's alright. It's the new ones that we're making just get better with time. As long as I know you're gonna be forever here, waking up next to me, right where we belong. On the way to get it all, we got plans of a house in the city on the shoreline, and we got plans. Spend too much money on the cheap one. From the church and the dress to the little bare feet. We ain't there yet, but we're gonna be. Living in the moment, loving where we're going long as I know that we got plans. Oh, we got plans. Oh. Might take a little longer than we expected. From here where we are to wherever we're heading, I'm up to seeing it through. As long as I'm going with you, 'cause we got plans. Of a house in the city on the shoreline, and we got plans. We spend too much money on the cheap wine. From the church and the dress to the little bare feet. We ain't there yet, but we're gonna be. Living in the moment, loving where we're going long as I know that we got plans. Oh, we got plans. We know where we're going, we know where we're going, we know where we're going. It feels good, don't it? We know where we're going, know where we're going, know where we're going. 'Cause we got plans.
Had to unmute myself for a second. I love it. Well, I'm excited I'm excited for the EP. I'm excited for an eventual radio tour and a radio single.
Yes.
And we'll get there one thing at a time. And it just makes you appreciate the little things. And
oh yeah, if they thought I was excited before, now it's like, let's go.
Absolutely. And there we go, Sam. We have plans for Hannah. Amen. I love it. Well, thank you so much. I cannot wait to hear everything and see everything and get that eventual radio tour going. And
wait, Brooks, I have a question.
Yes.
We're having beers with Brooks. What is your beer of choice?
So it actually is Miller Lite, but forgive me. This is my 1B. I like Coors Light too, but it's 1A, 1B, Miller Lite and Coors.
Okay. Good to know.
But honestly, at the end of the day, my favorite beer is cold. Just because, literally, I'll do a craft beer, light beer, like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know, it's been pretty cool because now that this has become such a thing, every now and then, people send stuff and it's become this new, like, all right, well, here we go. Time for the next episode. I
need to remember this.
I gotta break this out. So
share with you what I already have. So that's
right
on.
I love it. So, well, hopefully, we'll catch each other soon and stay safe and take care.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thank you, Sam and RJ, and everyone for watching. Seriously appreciate it as always. And hopefully, like I said, we'll do a real in-person Beers with Brooks with Hannah and just so many other people soon. And as always, thank you to our friends at One of Indy. They have a bunch of great promotions going on right now. And they're seriously the best. If you need an oil change, you need new tires, everything, be sure to stop on by. And thank you, Ricky. It's so nice for you to join us on Facebook after you voted for us to move it to Facebook. But yeah, take care, guys, and have a great night, and we'll talk soon.